We are still on an ongoing search to find the best Minecraft launcher in existence. And in this 5th episode of the launcher test, it is finally time to check out the most suggested launcher by far. Actually, jokes aside, this might be the most requested video ever on this channel. Ever since this series started, there is one launcher that everyone keeps spamming in every single comment section of every single video that I make. And it is, of course, Prism. According to a lot of you guys, by far the best Minecraft launcher in existence. And even though the launcher test is nowhere close to ending, because there are so many more launchers to test, I do feel like it is a good time to have a look at what many consider to be the best one, so that later down the line, when we're checking out all the other launchers, we can compare them to it and see where those launchers might be lacking behind. Also, I want to say this straight away, if you have any launcher suggestions for me, do let me know in the comments down below. So far in this series, we've checked out the Modrive app, the CurseForge app, the Multi-MC launcher, the AT launcher, the GD launcher, and today, the Prism launcher. If you have any more recommendations outside of those 6, do let me know in the comments down below, and I will have a look at them very, very soon. And with that being said, let's have a look at what is, according to a lot of you guys, the best Minecraft launcher ever created. And here it is. The Prism Launcher version 9.4. Now the first thing I'm noticing straight up is that it does look very similar to the Multi-MC launcher, which depending on your taste can be either a good or a bad thing. It is a very simple design, and whether you like that or not really depends on what type of person you are. If you like simple but functional, then Prism is great. But if you really care about visuals and graphics, then maybe Prism is not for you. So this is what I see when I open up my launcher. We have a little cat icon here again. It's a fluffy kitten. It's just a kitten again. It's great to see that Prism did not remove the cat button. Very important to this launcher being successful, of course. So let's see what functionality the Prism Launcher houses. The first button here on the top left is Add Instance, which simply allows us to create a new Minecraft instance. Now something I immediately love to see, really love to see, is that CurseForge is here. Now, like mentioned in previous episodes, I'm not a very avid CurseForge user. With that being said though, I like having as much functionality in my launcher as possible. And having a CurseForge implementation is definitely part of that. CurseForge was completely missing from the Multi-MC launcher for whatever reason. But it's great to see that it is here. Now, you can of course also import an instance. You can also choose a mod pack from the AT launcher, which sounds confusing, as the AT launcher is just another Minecraft launcher, a launcher we have checked out before, but I'm pretty sure that the AT launcher also hosts some mod packs of their own, and this is just an example of that. We also got Feed the Beast Legacy, we got Feed the Beast app import, and then we have Modrive, which is of course great to see, and last but definitely not least, Technic. So that is a lot of functionality. So many different options to choose from. And of course, we can also just create a custom one and select mods as we go. Now, as a test, I'm simply going to install Performium. So I'm going to select it here in this list. Then I'm going to click on OK. And there it goes. It's downloading. Good stuff. Performium is successfully installed. Now, when we have an instance selected, here on the right side, we can change a lot of things about it. So first of all, we can launch it. Obviously, we can kill it if that's needed. And we can also edit the instance. And this means over here, we can just add a bunch of stuff to this mod pack. So we can see the logs. Currently, there are none because I've never booted this instance yet. But as soon as I have, they should show up here. Over here in the Modrive tab, we can select different versions of the mod pack, which means that currently I'm on the latest version of Performium, which is an alpha version. Let's say I want to go to the latest release. I can simply select the latest release here, click on update pack, and then it will downgrade to that version. That's really great. And then in the mods section, it seems like this is the place where we can download more Minecraft mods. And if this works the way I think it works, it will be a ginormous improvement over the Multi-MC launcher. Because on Multi-MC, if you wanted to add any mods, mods, you had to manually download them yourself and then drag them into your mods folder, which is of course a giant hassle. I'm pretty sure we can just automatically download mods here straight through this launcher without having to do anything manually. So let's click on download mods and let's over here look for Zoomify. There it is. Now I'm pretty sure if I want to install it, I can click on select mod for download and we can continue adding more mods here. So I can, for example, also add 3D skin layers, which is another mod I really like. Select mod for download. There we go. Then I'm gonna go to review and confirm. And here you can see the mods that you currently have selected to be installed. And then we can simply click on OK. And there it goes. They are added. Just like that. No more manual downloads. You can just do it all through here, which is great. We can also check for updates. We can also add a file manually. So you do still have that functionality, of course. But the fact is you can just download it here straight through the launcher without having to do dragging and dropping and manual downloading. That is just such a quality of life improvement. And the fact that we can do this for mods makes me believe we can also do it for anything else. So let's download Barebones, select, review, okay. And there we go. Barebones is here. For shader packs, let's click on download shaders. I really like Bliss nowadays, so let's download it. There we go. Review, okay. And there is Bliss. Oh, I love it. It's great. That's so great. Now we can also add nodes, which was also a feature on the Multi-MC launcher. And we can also add worlds, and we might be able to... Okay, no. We cannot download worlds from CurseForge. It will just open the folder of the launcher. That's good to know. I wonder if they will ever implement that functionality. Then here we got servers, which is something we can add. Look at that. Address mc.hypixel.net. Then here we can manage our screenshots, which is really nice. Then we have some general settings about the instance, which is always really handy to have. Java settings, stuff like that. And then we got other logs. Now we can also change the group of our instance. So currently it is ungrouped, but I can change the group and I can add it to a group called subscribe, because I would really appreciate it if you did. Then we click on OK, and now this is the subscribe group. And we can have more instances and add them to different groups. So you can have one with horror mod packs, and then you can have one with optimization mod packs. The groups just make it really easy to manage them all. Also, something I just quickly want to point out is that currently this installation actually has the Performium icon showing. This is just the icon of the mod pack. For some reason, it was not showing up on Multi-MC. I don't know why. Maybe it was just a one-time bug, but they were not showing up for some reason. I'm glad to see they are here. Now, of course, we can also open the folder of the instance. We can export the instance, copy it, delete it, and even create a shortcut, which will then add it to our desktop so we can just launch this instance straight up without having to open the Prism Launcher first. Very handy. Now, right next to the Add Instance button, we have a Folders button, which allows you to open a wide variety of different folders, like the root of the launcher, instances, central mods, skins, Java, but even things like icon themes and widgets and cat packs. That's so fun. It is nice to see that everything is easily accessible through here. Now the settings button next to that will allow us to change a bunch of settings when it comes to this launcher. And one of the things we can change in the user interface is of course themes. So we can change the icon style. Currently it is on simple dark, but we can also go for simple light, which like you can see will make it have a completely different look. There's also colored, there is simple blue, we got legacy, then there is iOS, flat, which I gotta say, this looks pretty clean. There's also flat, but then gray. We got breeze light. I'm not really a fan of this one. Then we got breeze dark and OS X as well. I think I'm gonna go for flat white. I think it looks pretty sick. Now we can also change the widgets, which I think is just the general theme. So currently it is on dark, but we can also set it to fusion, which, okay, changes the colors here. That looks pretty cool. There's also Windows 9X. Oh, I love this old look. This brings me back to the old days. Then we got bright, which is way too bright. Then system, which I gotta say, looks pretty cool. There's also Windows 11, which, oh, because I'm on Windows 11, it's the same as system. Okay, got it. And then Windows Vista. I love that there's so many different themes. I really like that. I think I'm gonna go for the Windows 11 one. It looks kind of cool. You can customize the cat? No way! Wait, let's enable the cat. There it is. Yes! This is fantastic. I wish there were more options, but I think we can just add options ourselves. Okay, I've added a screenshot of my own. Let's see if it works. And yes, it totally does. Okay. I love it. That's great functionality. I'm a big fan. I can also change the opacity. Wait, so if I change it to 50, good stuff, good stuff. Now, outside of the user interface settings, we of course also have a console, which is really nice. We have Minecraft settings, so these are just the basic settings, like should Minecraft start maximized, what should the window size be like, and should it track things like, for example, playtime. Then we can change Java settings, we can change language settings, and oh man, it does support a lot of languages. They have not all been created equally though. So English is all 100%, but some of these languages here have a very low percentage. Even Dutch, which is my native language, has only been translated for 90.6%. Maybe I should contribute. But at least it's really nice that they just give you the option here. Then we can have custom launch commands, which is great. We can have environment variables. People who use features like these, you know who you are. Then we got some proxy settings, external tools like MC Edit and G Profiler. Most of this stuff seems to be the same as on Multi-MC. Then we got accounts, and these are simply the Microsoft accounts I have added. And then last but not least, we got APIs here at the bottom. Okay, so far, I do have to say, I'm impressed with this launcher. You can customize a lot. Even the picture that you see on the background. It's so cursed. You can download stuff from Modrinf, CurseForge, and many other platforms. And even if you want to add mods, or resource packs, or shader packs, you can all just download them straight through this launcher. No need to manually drag and drop stuff. Now, something I do want to check out is... am I actually able to change my cape and my skin through this launcher? Because in the Multi-MC launcher, it did not work for some reason. Let me disable this, by the way. So let's click on my name here in the top right and then go to manage accounts. Oh, it just takes us back to the settings. Interesting. So the big list of accounts, which in my case only has a single one, is where you can change things like setting a default, which if you have a bunch of accounts is really handy, but also manage skins. So let's click. Oh, look at that. Okay, this entire menu, the Multi-MC launcher did not have. It did have an equivalent, but like mentioned, it didn't work. This one seems a lot better though. So here we got my skin, the skin I have currently selected. We can change the model between classic and slim. That's really nice. And then here I just have a big list with all the capes I have available. So if I want to change to, for example, the Mojang Office cape, there it is. Now we can simply click on OK. Look at that! Ah, it's working! This is great. This is amazing. A skin changer that actually works. Look at that, it's changed. Ah. Now of course we also have some buttons here to look for help, which is handy. And then we have an update button, which will just look for updates for the launcher in general. It will keep track of your playtime, which is really nice. Now, something I do want to mention, and something I actually received a lot of comments about, is that one thing which Prism is really good at is telling you what is wrong with whatever installation you're launching. So let's say you're just slamming mods together, and you slam some mods together which are incompatible with each other, then Prism is very good, apparently, at telling you what is wrong and why your instance is not launching. I think we can just give this a shot by installing an outdated mod. So I'm gonna right-click on Performium, gonna open the folder, and let's say I just download the Apple skin, but then for version 1.19.4. That sounds about right. So let's drag it in, there we go, and let's see what happens when I try to launch this installation. It's downloading libraries and stuff like that. Of course, this is the first time I'm launching this installation, so it needs to download a lot of additional assets. Usually happens the first time. So it has not launched. That much is clear. So let's go to the bottom and let's see if we can find the reason why. It simply gives me a very big log I need to scroll through. Of course, in the hope to find whatever is wrong. I've seen many people point out that Prism is so good at telling you what is wrong with a mod pack. I'm not really seeing that. Like, of course, I can find it here, but it doesn't straight up tell me like, hey, this is the mod which is keeping your mod pack from booting. You should change the version or anything like that. It will just give me a big log, which is something that every single launcher can do. And then you have to scroll through the log to actually find what's wrong. Definitely a nice feature, not something which really stands out. Okay, so thoughts. You guys were right. This launcher has a lot of functionality. It looks very simple and very clean. It is a visual style that some may really enjoy, and others who might like something a bit more visually pleasing might not be a big fan of it, but it is simple and it does the job. In terms of features, Prism ticks most boxes, period. You can simply create new installations, download mod packs from Modrinf, CurseForge, and some other big platforms. If you want to add mods or resource packs or shader packs to your installation, you can also easily do that, all through the launcher. No manual downloads needed at all. The only thing you do need to manually download is maps. You're not able to simply download a map from CurseForge through the Prism Launcher. I don't know if this is functionality they will maybe add in the future, but that will be pretty cool to see. Outside of that, Prism has a lot of customization. You can customize the icons, you can customize the theme, you can even customize the picture on the background. And it has some default customization settings already baked in, but you can also add your own. So if you want to make your own icons or put your own picture on the background, that's also something you can totally do, which is really awesome and can make your launcher even more personal. And then the fact that it also has a skin switcher, which also allows you to change your cape, and it actually works, that's pretty awesome too. I'm just trying to think, are there any features that we encountered in any of the previous episodes that are not included in the Prism Launcher? And the only one I can really think of is the servers feature on the AT Launcher. In case you guys didn't watch that video, go check it out. But the AT Launcher basically had a feature which allowed you to create a server and install plugins all through the launcher itself. So outside of using the launcher to manage your instances and your game, you could also use the launcher to manage your servers, which was a pretty cool and unique feature. And so far, I've not seen that in any other launcher. I can't think of any other feature that other launchers had that Prism doesn't. Something I also really like about Prism, and I do have to make clear, 90%, if not 95% of all launchers have this functionality, but Prism has it as well. You can run it in portable mode. Basically, the whole installation will exist in just a single folder, and because of that, you can move that folder around to other places. Like, for example, different PCs. And then if you launch the launcher on another PC, all your installations and all your settings will be there. The reason I really like this functionality is because I've recently switched to running a lot of programs in portable mode, as my installation of Windows tends to break every 6 months, and I have to reinstall Windows completely every time that happens. And it's kinda annoying to just lose all of my programs. So it is really handy to just be able to back up my launcher with all of my installations. So that way, when I do have to reset Windows, I won't lose anything important. Again, most launchers can do this, but Prism can just also do this, and it's a nice feature. So, final thoughts. What do I think about Prism? It is a really good launcher, and I can totally see why people use it. From everything I've seen, there's not really a reason to dislike Prism. I can only come up with 2 reasons, which is, first of all, you want the server management functionality that the AT Launcher has, which Prism simply doesn't, or you simply don't like the visual style. You simply don't like the simplistic look of Prism. You want something more aesthetically pleasing, like Modrinf or the GD launcher. And if that is you, then yes, I can understand you don't like Prism that much. But if you look at it from a functionality perspective, Prism ticks as good as all the boxes. And with it being so simple and so lightweight, I totally get why so many people were suggesting it and calling it the absolute best launcher out there. So now that we've checked out Prism, the question is now, which launcher is gonna be next? Even though we've checked out 6 already, there are so many other ones to go over. So do let me know in the comments down below, which launcher are you using and which one that I've not checked out yet would you recommend me covering in the next episode? And with that being said, that's gonna be it for today. Do make sure to subscribe to my channel, join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, see you later, bye bye.